It's 15 degrees, but it's a beautiful, crisp, sunny morning in Bozeman. And I have a question for you. When finding a shidduch, when finding a match for a bride or groom, is it enough to find the right match, or are there other components that are vital for the marriage success? Let's look into this week's parsha. The parsha tells us that when the first shidduch in history was happening, Abraham sends his servant Eliezer to go to Aram Naharaim, to his original birthplace, and find a family member to be a shidduch, to be a wife for his son Yitzchak, for Isaac. And he says to his servant Elokei Shamayim, the God of the heavens, took me from my father's house and my birthplace and brought me here. And Rashi says that Avram was telling Eliezer that I want you to know that when I left my father's home many, many decades ago, Hashem was just Elokei Shamayim. But because of my work in the world of permeating the world with a belief in one God, a belief in monotheism, the world is now a place where it's not just Elokei Shamayim, but it's also Elokei Haaretz, the God of the earth. That's what Avram told Eliezer. That's what Rashi tells us. But the Rebbe wonders, why here? Why now? It seems irrelevant to the role. You want me to go get a wife for Yitzchak, so I'm going to go because you told me to go. Why emphasize right here at this moment the change in the world that happened due to Avram, that it used to be just Elokei Shamayim, the God of the heavens, and now it's Elokei Haaretz too, the God of the earth as well? Says the Rebbe that Avram was answering a very fundamental question that surely had gone through Eliezer's head. On the one hand, my boss, my master Avram, told me that I must get a girl from this area, from Aram Naharaim, from Avram Avinu's original family and birthplace. It was an absolute. On the other hand, he warned me a bunch of times that you should never take my son Yitzchak to that place. So if it's so important to take a girl from that location for the marriage, why is the place so prohibited? To answer that, Avram had to remind him something. That of course, getting the right shidduch is important. And Rivka was the perfect match for Yitzchak, which is why Eliezer had to go to Abraham's birthplace, to his family members, to Psuel's daughter, and bring her home to be a shidduch, to be a match for Yitzchak. But that's only the first important component of a marriage, which is to find the right spouse. The second important thing is to find a location, an environment, a neighborhood, a community to live in that is conducive and supportive of that godly lifestyle. Because if Yitzchak would leave Eretz Yisrael, which of course he didn't, and live with Rivka in a neighborhood, in a community that does not support the same values, it could have been detrimental to their marriage. So of course, having a soulmate is vital. You have to be married to your soulmate, otherwise it's trouble. But also moving with your soulmate to an environment like Eretz Yisrael, in the case of Yitzchak and Rivka, that supports their values, that supports their morality, that supports their belief in Hashem, and therefore they don't feel alone in the marriage, they feel supported. That is a vital, vital aspect in it. And so often with marriages, we do the first part very well. We find the right spouse, but then we end up in the wrong community and it has a terrible effect on a marriage. So Avram Avinu is reminding us, rule number 1, get a good shadchan and find a good match. Rule number 2, make sure the young couple's in a community and in a supportive environment that not only supports them financially and gets them off going in their marriage, but that supports them spiritually so they don't get farchapt, they don't get secularized, they don't get disturbed in their spiritual journey, and their belief in Hashem remains steadfast throughout, because that is the greatest component for a successful marriage, is to have the foundation of godliness in it. Have a wonderful day and stay warm.